What's going on, everybody? Happy Friday. Welcome and welcome back to the channel. This is Arts of the Round Table. My name is Mello. Happy Friday, everybody. I'm glad you're here, God. I am so happy. So happy. We're going to be doing a couple of things. I'm going to try to chill today, if that's okay with you. I'm going to do a little bit of drawing, and then I'm going to end it with some painting. But before that, let's show you what we've been messing around with for the last week. So I have been painting my original characters for my story. A story titled Ghost of Arlan. This is one of my heroes. It's incomplete, this painting. His name is Enix. This is his sister, Aoife. This is their uncle, Kelbray. So this is what I've been doing for my story, a visual Bible of my characters and kind of like these dead set images of them, so that when I start doing the sequential art in the future, I will always have a pure representation of what they are supposed to look like. It's the first time I've ever done anything like that, so I don't know what's the right way or the wrong way. This is just, so far, my way. This is using gouache. These are artboards. So we're going to be putting some paint on him today. And hopefully that's how we would end today's session. But again, we're just having a good time. We're just banging, hanging and banging, as they say. This is a side painting that I was doing. This is our young heroine. That's her old or grown up. This is her at a young age, facing off against a saber-toothed tiger of mythical proportions. This is using gouache also, except this is on canvas. I got a ton of supplies around me that I want to be using, so I'm going to be doing that more often. And the only thing that I'm going to be replenishing is probably my comic book pages, my Bristol boards. But I have so many sketch pads and art pads that I need to use and go through. But anyway, I love this piece so far. I can't wait to try to finish it. A part of me wants to keep it as is. That is gouache on canvas. To preserve my pencils on these, I draw it. I spray it with fixative. I use clear gesso on top of that. I use an acrylic underpainting, and then I paint. Oosh. Anyway, that's that. And then for funsies, yesterday, I drew this, my version of She-Ra. You guys know who She-Ra is. I'm a Dora, twin sister of Adam. And I didn't want her to look dainty. So I beefed her up. She got some thunder thighs. She looks like she's going to put the hands on somebody. I had to defend this version to my wife. My wife is a super fan. Like, this is her childhood heroine, as she is to me. And she didn't really appreciate too much the overly muscular or the overly... So I'm going to try to fix that for her today on a different sheet of paper. Wish me luck. All right. But yeah, it is Friday. Last time I checked. Been an interesting week. I've never been so consistent with my artwork. I'm drawing or doing something creatively, trying to anyway, every day. And I encourage you guys, if this is something that you want to do that. Find something. A few minutes doesn't hurt if you can. I know everybody's schedule is different and life finds a way. You know, I have the I have I'm just checking. I'm just making sure you guys can see everything in both horizontal and vertical sessions. I have the benefit and the burden of being unemployed, which it sucks in many different levels, but it is what it is. We gotta do what we gotta do, and I'm really trying to push my art to be my creative and financial outlet. See how that works out. All right, enough about me. Let's get to painting. Say hello when you arrive. Let me know you're there, and that's it. We're gonna do a two-piece here. I had an idea or vision of big ripped He-Man down here and a Dora above him. So that's what we're gonna try to do today. And I'm gonna try to keep it loose and build my characters, and I'll show you how I do that. Alright. I have a really bad habit of not being able, but we don't need to see the whole sword, right? So I want him big old fists. We don't really need to see the sword, right? We know what it looks like, so why don't we do that? So I just did a really ghosted. That's gonna be the hilt. I need to give her space, so she's gonna be back here. I want her here. I'm moving stuff around because the last time I was doing this, I ignored everyone in my vertical stream because I couldn't see it. So I want to make sure I can see that. All right. This is going to be her. I've been looking at a lot of Frazetta. Actually, this right here. The sensuous Frazetta. So I've been trying to not sexualize my female characters, but make them look strong, beautiful, and voluptuous, and all of those things that guys try to do. And I'm trying to reverse engineer what he's doing. I wish there was a way to like read, if there was a way. But anyway. But I did notice that his female forms are very, I'm not going to say simple in shape, but they have two defining shapes that he uses to build the figure. So I'm trying to emulate that. All right, so fist. I don't care if it goes out of the page. Forearm. Bicep. Bowl cut. This composition isn't very exciting. I'm gonna remove her for a second. This is one thing that I've been trying to help myself with too, trying to figure out better composition with multiple characters, and I get to show you guys a new little toy I got for the desktop. Little mini desktop vacuum. Look at that. All right. That's not really the image that I had in mind here. I might need a bigger page to do what I wanted, but let's see if I can figure it out here. I'm gonna have to grab my He-Man book just to see maybe I can put her here. I don't want her overshadowed, so I should have her in the center of the page. I don't do much planning, if you guessed it. When there's something like this, I'm really not doing that much planning. But I'm going to show you guys real quick what I meant about Frasetta's female forms. I'm dividing the page so I want her in the center. So yeah, right in the back of this one, I was trying different shapes, but these here, these ghosted images are pretty much close to his simplified forms of how Frazetta draws women. But he drew so much looser. He had a better understanding because he used models. So, all right, I'm gonna stop that. Does He-Man have... What's funny about that She-Ra piece is that I'm doing, or will be doing, I think, a collaboration with another artist by the name of Ginger Bear House, Haus. And he kind of jokingly said, She-Ra and or Rainbow Bright. So I drew She-Ra there, but then because we didn't go any further except for the initial idea, we don't know who's doing what. And he's such an amazing artist that I would be remiss to assume what role. So I just draw. We're going to keep drawing for now. I want this He-Man to look redonkulous. And I really need to do more rendering work, especially with the pen. DW, good morning, sir. How you doing, bud? Happy Friday. I am doing well. You never really want your hero to be this low on the page. If we was doing comics, he would get his chin cut off. So I might end up redoing this piece. See how quickly I can put this thing together here. There's no rush, but I think working quickly helps because you can just get a lot of your ideas out the way. Well, I because the sword is so iconic, D-dubs, that just the hilt alone, I think visually is enough to inform what it is. I think his and the Sword of Omen from the Thundercats might be the most iconic looking swords, second and third to Excalibur. It doesn't help also that I've been using 11 by 17 lately, the size of the paper, and this is 11 by 14, and now I'm like, I feel like I don't have enough real estate. Yes, I'm putting She-Ra behind him. So he's going to be in the foreground, but because she is in the center, I'm hoping that she doesn't get overshadowed. This isn't what I was intending to do. The intention was supposed to draw her a bit more delicate than my previous piece, and I'll show you that in a second. It seems to be more of an action piece. It's ridiculous. Anyway, any plans for the weekend? You know, it'd be hilarious, right? They're supposed to be twins. It'll be really cool to try to do the same face for both of them. With this type of stuff, I like to be a little bit more freer and more do a bit more caricature-like. It allows for some exaggeration. What I really am interested in to see if I can actually paint something like this and make it look good. Study groups? We're gonna try. No, I just bought the tickets to go see the Odyssey for Sunday. Should be good, but that's it really. Some yard work. We might go to Jacksonville tomorrow. My daughter wants us to go to the beach, and there's a Cuban joint that she's really interested in us checking out. I think I've been looking at way too many Conan stories and books. Everybody's angry. Make them both look like the He-Man action figure, which was oogly, man, wasn't he? They all need a big hug? Yeah. Let me see if I can do this here. I'm gonna keep lightning eyes. I love lightning eyes. Gotta point these nostrils down. What was the guy's name that was like He-Man muscles? Yeah, he had stretching abilities. It wasn't not Stretch Armstrong, right? No, I can't. Now I can't remember. What I originally envisioned last night before I started doing this was I wanted He-Man to have, I wanted him really exaggerated, so he was going to be kind of like almost folded backwards this way. With his muscular arm this way. Something like that. With a sword up. Something like that. I had a couple of sketches somewhere that I was trying to master that look. With that exaggerated pose. Next time. But that was the original idea. But I didn't know what to do with her here. We'll stick to this. This won't be the final piece that I do for her. For my wife here. I have a habit of that, though, of exaggerating certain things. Well, just imagine everything that was, uh, what's the word? That was catering growing up to me and my sensibilities was extreme, so I draw everything almost extreme. And I do it kind of like as a joke. But it just feeds everything in my brain. So a dopamine dump. How you doing, Link? How you doing, Link? Am I drawing it for my wife? I was trying to get back to her good graces. I'll show you the first She-Ra I did. Where are you? Extreme, yeah, man. This one. I love it, though. It's actually kind of a funny thing. It's a joke. Not a joke, but I'll give you points and donuts to whomever can figure out where the pose came from. But I was trying to do a bunch of these like very sensual and dainty versions of not dainty, but very close to how the character was. And then I just got frustrated. which is usually the case when I do something like this. Frustrated in a good way. But yeah, I like it. I think it's great. That's a big woman. So I'm going to keep some of that musculature, but I think just tone it down a bit, I guess. Don't know the pose? No, don't know morning donuts for you. Sorry. No, I'm kidding. It's actually Thor. It's a Jack Kirby Thor pose. It's just him. It's a famous pinup of Jack Kirby's Thor. Let me see if I can find it. Find it again. I hate this though, right? You do it once. Let me see. And good luck trying to find it again. I was actually going to do a Beta Ray Bill, his pose. I'm never gonna find it now. How the hell did I find it yesterday? All I did was put Thor pose. I'll never find it. That's hilarious. Way to go, Smell. But anyway, just imagine the hammer. The whole thing, even though because Thor has the winged helmet, so I thought it was funny. Same pose and everything, but I used it to try to help me twist the figure. Kept the cape and everything. That stuff makes me laugh. I like it. And if it makes me happy, makes me laugh, I won't make them look the same, but you found the picture I was talking about? How did I do in representing Thor? I can't believe I don't. Do I not have that window up? I do not. Oh well. It bees like that sometimes. Yeah, I was really trying to emphasize that twist. Is it this one? Is it this one? Ah, found it. All right. Let me see if I can share this image with you guys. Give me 1 second. Thor dot. So many computers, man. And I didn't even save it right. First person I thought about was Darth Vader. Oh, that'd be kind of cool too. And then sometimes I would use my husband for poses. Do you take advantage of family and friends that way? I do for photo reference. That is, they don't. No, they don't let me. Not that they don't let me. I haven't asked them in quite some time. That's the image. But like I said, I've been watching a ton of portrait artists, and then I'm like, I think I could do it. So I just recently asked my wife if she would sit for me for a couple of hours, and she said absolutely. So, and I think my youngest son, he said he would also. So there you go. Let the Renaissance begin. There it is. I think it's great. I think it'll, if people know, or if they don't know, but they know about this image they'll go, huh, I think there's, huh. You have to, see how you do that? You gotta earwig them. You gotta earwig them. Wiggums. What portrait artist do I like? You know, I haven't done enough studying of other artists' work to appreciate it. I know everybody says Singer, and I have some of his stuff, but they are so ahead of me that I could only look at their work and be admired. Like, none of it makes me go, I can do that. It almost makes me step back. That makes sense. It's a weird feeling. And even though I like Leyendeckers and Rockwell's artwork, you don't really consider them portrait artists. They're kind of like illustrators. So I don't know, man. If you guys have any faves that I should take a peek at, please. She's behind the sword. No, I'm sure it's not easy to sit. But I probably won't have her sit the whole 4 hours, I'm sure. We'll figure out how to take some breaks. Thank you, Link. I appreciate that. And I unfortunately do, I think, sell myself short a lot. That's all going to change. That all changes. What the heck? It goes in, it goes out, it goes in. The self-deprecating, the nature that I have, I think, is because of now. I think it's more of a fear of failure, or disappointing, because of the amount of failures I've went through early. Like I said, I was going to quit painting and drawing, period. And then my grandmother passed away a couple years ago, and I drew one last piece, and then I was like, well, nothing's ever going to be. I did a portrait of her in pencil, ink, and watercolor, and I'll show you. And then I said I'll never paint anything as important to me. So this would be a good way to hang it up. But then I can almost hear her going, why would you do that? Why would you not? Why would you stop? The portrait I did, I was living in Boston when she passed away, and we knew she was pretty bad. Even the flight down here, she was living in Florida, was short notice. She had passed by the time I had bought the tickets. I was devastated, and the way that I helped myself maintain was I did her portrait on the flight. I did half of it on my way to Florida, and then I finished it on the way back, and then painted it when I got home. And then surprisingly, I've never been more consistent. I've never stopped. He was supposed to, I think the He-Man toy started out as a Conan toy, right? I have to check. I wonder if I should use Arnold as a model. Yeah, really was. It was a hot mess. Especially You know, there's always someone like that, and hopefully, I hope, um, people get to experience that type of connection and love to one person. At least one person in their life, maybe two, if we're lucky. But my grandmother was legit. Hey, you know what? Let me show you. This is the sketchbook that I had, and I rearranged the pages once I was done to have her in the front. So that was the sketch of my grandma. She was 101, maybe. We think she was older than that, just because of the record keeping in Puerto Rico when she was born. Wasn't necessarily up to snuff, not only then, but throughout the years. It's pretty rough in terms of date keeping. Oh man, no wonder it's in my heart, you guys. It's the anniversary, close to. Today's the 7th. It'll be a week ago. A week ago. It'll be next week, August 15th. The anniversary of her passing, and she passed in 2021. Man, that time. I think I've showed you guys this pen book, but anyway, that's her. And then I was able to replicate it, and then do it in watercolor. Give me 1 second, my little man's coming in here. And she was an artist herself. This is her embroidering. We used to call her, this is so funny, we used to call her the warden. She used to have this beautiful brooch of a flower. So it looked like a badge. And she's short. My grandmother was maybe 5'2", 5'3". But she had authority everywhere she went. And if you did something wrong, she would correct you. She didn't care how old you was. If you were uncle, nephew, grandkid, a brother, she didn't care. She was the jam. So my group of cousins and sisters, and we would call her the warden because that's what it felt like. Oh, everybody quiet down. Very authoritative. She was great. She was so loving. All right, I'm losing this here. Okay, no. One thing I have to stop doing so much is I'm gonna start drawing on my left. Yeah, I'm glad too. when I was still living in Boston when that happened, moved back, that was the last thing I did. And it was like, well, nothing's going to get any more personal than that. What's the point? And then we moved down here to Florida. And I got like depressed. First time being away from Massachusetts in over 40 years. Besides a visit here and there somewhere else, but it was kind of a culture shock. And art was the thing that keep me together. That and unfortunately alcohol at the time, I thought. But alcohol ended up messing me up. Which my wife reminded me, I haven't even been thinking about it. Sober for over a year now. No drink, no nothing. And I'm like, huh? Look at that. And then I said I picked a terrible time to stop drinking. What's up, JOM? How you doing, man? And it's a weird feeling of saying that, like, oh, it's been a year, because I didn't consider myself a drunk. I really was. So I don't celebrate sobriety that way. It's kind of like, okay, it's just another day. I haven't even thought about it. It's really weird. Don't care for pen quarters or anything like that. It's really interesting. I did say I picked a terrible year to stop. And she side-eyed me like, ugh. Thanks, D-Debbie. I appreciate that. Link, thank you so much for stopping by. I haven't gotten any notices on any of your new stuff. Are you still posting? Please tell me you're still posting. Back to work, Link, and I'll talk to you soon. I appreciate you always, and I'll see you in the next one. Here's a tip, guys, just a tip. If you can't draw the whole figure, don't. Save it for another day. All right, I need to figure out He-Man's face here. I have a question for you guys. You been busy? Okay. I understand. No pressure. When you guys draw faces, if you do, I like to do weird expressions, but it's hard to find them sometimes. So do you guys go eyes first? Do eyes, if you get the eyes, does that help you nail the rest of the image? Like, I don't know if you guys saw, I did kind of like the nose and the mouth first for her and one eye. With him, I think I'm going to try to find it in the mouth first and see if I could manipulate the eyes to match. Always eyebrows first? I can dig it. Yeah, I have this thing where not necessarily the eyebrow, but like that meat, the bone of the brow, bone brow, and the scowl. Does that sound right? These scowl muscles, scowl line, whatever they're called. If I want them angry, even if I don't, but that dictates how high. I'm gonna do something with his eyes that they do with Conan. They kind of like put so much of it in shadow because they describe Conan to have panther-like, sunken, dark eyes. And I do a lot of grunting or sound effects. If he's grimacing, I try to grimace out loud. Hold on, I can't do it this one. So he goes, got the eyes have it, huh? I think about 90% of the time I go eyes first. Eyes and nose. And then I think there's a real scientific reason for it. Because as you're drawing the eyes or the nose, that's going to dictate the muscle pull and the shape of the face. Let me bring this up. Not me. But the same thing could be said about the mouth. Like for her, I knew that I wanted this piece to be, wanted her nose to pull this way. But you also got to remember to please erase as many lines as possible from the female face. Yeah, if I were you, D-Dubs, try a couple of different things. I sometimes do the nose. And it also depends on what part of the face. If it's a caricature, right? Does my character have a big nose? Does he have big lips? Does he have, does she have expressive eyes? Does he have expressive eyes? I tend to draw my dudes with beadier, more mischievous looking eyes. He looks more disgusted. I don't know if I like that mouth. Ooh, I gotta show you guys my new toy. No more eraser guts on my carpet or on my floor. But this is a pretty good beginning. I could always try to, you know what? Hold on one second. Sorry about that. Ooh. What happened? What? What I need? What happened? What? I'm sorry, I missed it. Manga says eyes, muscle pull adds direction. If you know, then you know. Yes, absolutely. All these y'all have picked this up for a couple of bucks. I don't try to look at the back end stuff here because it's more current. Some of it is cool, but I try to stay in the front part. Oh, the eraser vacuum. Rah, bro. What? Well, I have to take you guys' advice and get into my Amazon affiliate. Because I be buying way too much crap. But anyway. 16 bucks. You let me know. I'll send you the link to it. These are some soft sketches of the. But when I bought this, it was plastic wrapped. What I was hoping was that it had more of this. This is really why I bought the book. I was hoping for more of the painted covers to their toys, their box art. Box art for G.I. Joe, Transformers, and Masters of the Universe, or He-Man, were so well done. They were beautiful. Beautiful. They took this crap serious. So if I can get a proper... He was really... Oh, I mean, look how cool that is. Yeah, do it, brother. Anything that I got that you want to see to get your hands on? Oh man, I freaked me out. I'm watching my vertical. Whew, and it's a little delayed. And my grandmother's image just popped up again, kind of like, Grandma, Nana. This stuff, anything you have in mind, you let me know. First of all, check out Tila. Tila, a little, even He-Man got a little, how you doing? Hey Tila, how you doing? Look at that original Skeletor. Isn't that cool? You know it would be kind of dope to do my own Skeletor with some of these old designs. Look at that Skeletor on top. Sorry. Tell me about the loneliness of good. He-Man, is it equal to the loneliness of evil? Skeletor. Frank Langella was the man in that movie. I watched it not too recent, but before I went to go see the Masters of the Universe in theaters. It's trash, but it's good trash. It's childhood trash. He was ripped. Ripped. Nobody will ever be that big to... Did they show... I can't remember now. I don't think they did. I remember so many of those masks. What's really cool, Rob Norton. You guys know Rob Norton? Some of you guys might. He did this 6-volume indie Masters of the Universe comic, graphic story, comic book, graphic novels, and it's amazing. I was just thinking about it the other day, but we're trying to set up our schedules. We're trying to get our schedules lined up so we can so I could jump on his live stream, or him on mine, and it'd be kind of cool to bring some of this up and then look at some of his artwork and see if I can woo him. Isn't that cool? That She-Ra original art. Look at that one. Where the lens is. I'm pretty sure you cats didn't come in here expecting this, but here's how we roll. I'm in here looking for He-Man's face. Ooh. Did I hold on 1 second. Did I swipe She-Ra? Holy smokes. Don't sue me. Oh yeah. That's amazing. I think that's hilarious. That is hilarious. See, my wife appreciates this. Thick, She-Ra not so much. June 22nd. Ooh, I feel like I drew this a long time ago. It's only been 2 months. I love those eyes. This already been fixed, so I don't have to worry about. Yep, I'm a fraud. I just swiped. I swiped. That's so funny. That jumped out at me. Alright, hold on. I'm here for He-Man's face. Can we find He-Man's face? Yeah, should I paint him like that? Should I give him that face? He looks constipated. I love the bowl cut. Can I do it? DW, I appreciate you always, man. Have a fantastic Friday. Have a fantastic weekend. I appreciate you, bud. Send me that DM. I'll send you the link. Guy Gardner has that. You know, I love Guy Gardner's bowl cut. I'm gonna give this dude some thick old brows. Hey J1, are you East Coast or West Coast? Where you from, bud? I love Guy Gardner too. Maybe I should do a Guy Gardner drawing. There's a drawing with friends or a drawing drawing together in Jacksonville. I just signed up to their Instagram group, and they're doing a heroes themed event, and I'm thinking of joining. It'd be really cool to meet more artists down here where I'm at. Like I say, art's a lonely thing, so it'd be kind of cool. So maybe I'm gonna look if Guy Gardner is available. Maybe I'll do Guy Gardner instead. All right, I'm gonna try to finish up this piece. Maybe I'll do some painting while I'm at it. What's up, Caleb? How you doing? Is that Greta? Hell yeah, bro. I'm practicing my my portrait art. So I figured why not a strong female character, strong female presence for our Ute. And by Chrome, Greta. And genuine, if you don't want to tell me where you're from, that's all good too, though. I hear you. Sometimes that question comes up on the chats, and it's a bit like, why you want to know? What's up, Caleb? Happy Friday, brother. Damn, this dude's mouth. I was gonna try to make him look like his toy, but the two Utes. How you doing? My cousin Vinny reference. Oh, what? Yeah. What's a Ute? Two youths. I'm gonna give Conan, He-Man, some jowls. I'm gonna put this to the side just so I can keep looking at it. I'm gonna try. There's so many things that I want to do, guys and gals out there. I want to do more studies, paint studies. I just don't know where and what. Like, I would love to redo this. These covers, these. Know what I'm saying? How cool is that freaking Castle Grayskull? Come on. He got that movie on VHS. That movie rocks. Move that up. Still looks. Oscar liked it. Who's Oscar? Speaking of Oscar, do you guys remember the movie Oscar with Sylvester Stallone when he was trying a bit more comedy? Am I the only one that kind of liked that movie? I can never draw bangs. I can never draw that type of hairdo. Oh, she won an Oscar for it. Yeah, of course. And they thought that Jack Palance read the wrong name. Because her biological clock is ticking like this. What's up, Omer? How you doing, brother? I'm just drawing the twins over here. Alright, let's make him gross. I found this really interesting technique to do vascular or veins using the side. Look at his jaw. From where I'm sitting, it doesn't look so extreme like it does on screen. Let me see if I can. But I want it to look extreme. Here we go. I want him to give like that vibes. You know what I'm talking about? You gotta have the hero chin. No, man, not those two. And twins. The Double Mint twins. Oh, what was that? The frick was it? What beer was that? Was that Bud Light? Alright. Side of the pencil. We're going to do some squiggle squaggles, and that's going to be our vascular, our veins for He-Man's arm here. I don't know if I'll do it and make them as gross as I did for Bane, but you know what? Why not? Yeah, the Doublemint twins were gum, but I think the and twins was Bud Light. They were announcing all the people in the party, and then the twins popped out, and that became a thing because dudes, excuse me, la muerte. But yes, it was the Doublemint twins. You think Chris Brown should have gotten sued when he sang that song W Pleasure, W Fun, and he basically did the Doublemint ad. Right? You gotta make them gross. You know what that face that looks like? Who's the dude that did He-Man for a bit? Freddie Williams? Is it Freddie Williams or Freddie his last name? Freddie, I think it's Freddie Williams the third. He has a distinct style, and it looks like he studied. You don't remember the Bud, whatever the beer commercial was? It looks like he took directly from Hogarth's How to Draw Dynamic Forms and commercialize it. They could have. Did it hurt them or make money for them is the question for you. Yeah, well, I don't know, right? We don't even see Devilman commercials anymore. Freddie, right? Freddie William? Nah, I got nothing. Freddie, what I got from him, he was drawing a Thor piece on one of these Comic-Con videos, and he has a water soluble graphite pencil. So he used that to draw and paint the form, and then he used a flat nibbed parallel pen to do quick cross hatching, and my mind was blown. I'm like, why? What the hell? What the hell? Sometimes it's just those little things you see an artist, a seasoned artist do, and you go, that's freaking genius. What the hell? And it's such a simple solution to something. That arm is so unproportionate. I don't even care. And then we're gonna do that little weird stretch. That don't look right. Let me see. Let me cheat. What do you got, bud? One of the best things about this figure is that it has this weird plushy body, rubber body. So you get some really good realistic dynamic stretching that you would get from the human form because it's all gooey. Something like that. Not that. Maybe I should look at more. I need to really study more of the anatomy. But who wants to do that? I have tons of books, digital and physical copies of just anatomy books, but I want to draw things wrong. Oh, you get to see my tiger, bro? I gotta finish painting it. That's what I was supposed to do today, but sometimes painting takes so much, like, brain matter, so much concentration, that I thought today would be a really awesome not to do any of that. But it's Freeform Friday. We can do whatever we want. Freeform Friday. I should give her those same veins. No. So the whole point of this piece. Oh, brother. Oh, JOM. If I had a rim shot sound effect. Brum, pss. But that's okay. You can use all your terrible jokes here. Don't tell nobody. Omer, I gotta send you my Rogue. You still interested in inking Rogue? If you want, or you can paint it. You can do whatever you want. I tried to do a saber-toothed panther because I was feeling myself. I was like, ooh, I could do animals now, and I can't. I was trying to draw a dark Valkyrie, and to me, dark Valkyries don't travel on Pegasus or Pegasi. So I try to draw this tiger, panther. Man, sometimes seeing it on screen, you can really tell how terrible it looks. But I was trying a bunch of different things. Like I said, I've been nothing but Conan studies for the last couple of weeks. And it's going to be like that for a while. So I was trying to do a lot of foreground, background, textures, and all this, that, and the other. And I was like, oh man, it just looks too weird looking straight forward because it looks like the motion of this piece is coming around. And I should have had his body more. I wanted her. Anyway, that was my failed attempt at it. So, your boy will keep practicing. Hey, Carrie Jeffrey. Welcome to the Tower of Terror. Boom, easy, bad joke. I subconsciously had the tiger you painted on my mind while I was working on some watercolors. My trees look like a tiger. An autumn in a perspective practice piece. That's cool. Omer says, yes sir, I'll ink and or paint anything you want to collab on. That's awesome. Yeah, I'll send it over, dude. You can do whatever you want to it. You're painting, dude. You're using acrylic, right? That stuff is coming out nice. Harry says, hello. Hello. J.O.M. says, you can say that heat affects the image. Just add realism. It's from the perspective of being there, so it looks real. Ah, gotcha. Yeah, and I didn't really know, in that last piece, I didn't really know what I was aiming for. Sometimes the royal you, I'll just have something in my head that I really need to want to push out. That's all. And to see if I can do it. I don't do many thumbnails or things like that. I don't do a lot of practice sketches. I should do it more often. But I've said before that I don't like doing them because I'd rather figure it out on the fly. On a big piece, I think you end up just putting a lot more into it, maybe. And if I'm gonna fail, I want to fail big. I don't want to fail or die by the death by a million cuts. You know what I'm talking about? Keep failing on doing a thumbnail or an idea. Just kind of like takes the life out of it. But putting down an idea always works. Yeah, you do a ton of watercolor. I think your watercolor's on your comics more than anything, right? That's how you color in your own stories. But yeah, I see you, bro. I see you. the acrylic for, I think, singular pieces. The lady, the chick one you did, well, the face looked amazing. Fortune cookie, if I got it right. It came out dope. Loved it. Loved it. What's up, Monty? I drew a sword. This sword is so impractical. It's like, come on. I think it's like that. But it's so iconic. Who was I saying? Oh yeah, to DW earlier. I was lamenting on the compositioning here and how the sword is not going to be in focus. And I figured that it's so iconic that you don't really need to see the whole sword to know what it is, what it do. Yeah, the comic stuff is more watercolor. I want to acrylic paint more comic stuff though, so that's just a push to have some acrylic painted work mixed in. Heck yeah, man. Well, but it looks good, man. And you can see the passion in there. The passion. It burns with desire. Yeah, man. When it's your own stuff, it's a different feeling. I've been feeling that lately with my own characters, even though it's just really early in my whole process. But I have been feeling a bit more what's the word? Precious about it. Experimenting more about it, feeling the stuff more about it. With your paints and stuff. So that sword is glowing. Yeah, the next piece I gotta finish is this one. I'll probably end up doing some of these off camera and start new on Monday, just to have new stuff to show. But yeah, this is the next one. I did some of the background Wednesday. But maybe if y'all want, I'll mess around and put some of the skin tone on. This is what's dope. Omar, I don't know if it'll work for acrylic. I don't know how much water you use when you're painting, but this wet palette has been a friggin' game changer for my work, for my paintings, because it'll remain vibrant with very little continuing. If you know gouache, you got to keep adding water to keep activating. I live in Florida, so it's pretty warm, it's hot, it's dry, my fans are always on. But this, all I end up doing is I'll crack it open, grab my paint, lay it down, move on, Bob's your uncle. But that's the same paint that I've used since Wednesday. And before I cleaned it, I did 3 pieces with the palette before. And so yeah, this palette, this color scheme, and this color scheme are the same. You can kind of tell how muted they start becoming. And then before I removed everything, I used the remaining colors here and did it for his jacket. And it stays fresh. So then this is the when I refreshed the palette, I did it for the tiger. Keeps the colors vibrant, which is dope. Oh yeah, Bob the uncle, which is dope. I almost don't even want to finish this. I kind of like how loose it is. This is something that I'm calling campfire tales. So it's gonna be, in my mind, just kind of like these mythical stories of these characters when they were younger, maybe told way in the future. Bedtime stories for little girls who need heroes and little boys who need heroes. Anyway. And then I ended up buying, so I was going through gouache paints like nobody's business. And then when I got the wet palette, and I'm conserving more paint. I'm using more of my stuff. Yeah, bruh. When I was doing acrylic years ago, if I had any left on my palette, I'll just saran wrap it. But you're right. That may hold maybe a day or two. Maybe. But that's when I was living in Boston. Try that wet palette, man. It's like $6 in Amazon. If you want, I'll send you the link to it. I'm sending everybody links. I'll send you the link to it. Because I think the original intention for those wet palettes is for acrylic and model kits. But man, we're rule breakers. We're the Ric Flairs. I gotta give, if her eye's a lot higher there. So I was using and losing a lot of paints because of that, because of how dry it was. And then, as you know, because it's different between acrylic and that, so I know the situations are different, but I keep using, once you start using so much water, it starts removing the color, man. So I'm looking at a bunch of my older paintings and noticing how dull they are after the fact. And it's because of that. So if it helps, it helps. I don't know, does he? Yeah, he has gauntlets. He got these things that... I'm trying to avoid tangent, but there's so much on this page that I really don't care. Not really. hand knuckles, some hand knuckles, some finger veins. That means it goes this way. That means I'm gonna have to change this. Oh, I gotta stop doing that. Little housekeeping. Wait, hold on. Her sword, that's her hand? Ah, you mean like this here? Oh, like if like they were popping out of her bustier? Yeah, I'm gonna have to change that. Make him a little darker. Evie Eden, how are ya? Oh, he's definitely out of frame. (2002) He-Man. Is that the Cartoon Network version? Is that the one where in the intro everybody twirls a gun? Twirls their weapon? Evie, but I didn't say hello. Hello, Evie. Is it Evie or Evie? Alright, so that's that. That means it'll be here. Dang, Monty, now I can't see it. I can't unsee it. Because it would make sense if all the energy was here. It's actually Evelyn? Okay. You got such nice art supplies. Those pastels, I've never messed with pastels before. I think they would tax my patience like nobody's business. There is an artist that I follow and watch that uses oil pastels, and is by the name of Black Bean CMS. I think it's Black Bean CMS. And there's a Spanish pastel artist that is amazing. No, dude, don't be sorry. With pastels. The Boom Twins, yeah. But yeah, if that's the one, it was the 2002 re-release, and I think it was on Cartoon Network. I think I remember watching the premiere of it, and everybody spins their weapon. Artfully, how you doing? How are you? You say I can't draw, so I don't know how you choose blue to draw with. I didn't normally draw with blue until this year. There's an artist by the name of Robert Norton that uses it when he's doing his preliminary sketches while he's doing his comic book. And I figured, why not? It's a color pencil. It has a really smooth, waxy feel to it, so it's very what's the word I'm looking for? It's very satisfying as it moves across the paper. Very smooth. You don't hear a lot of scratching like you would pencil. It doesn't rub so much. I have this thing on. And Mep, how you doing, Mammy P? What type of Colgate does she use? She uses that extra strength tartar control, bro. Brosif. This is a redo because I did one yesterday. I did a She-Ra yesterday. I'm doing a collaboration with the artist Ginger Bear. I think he mentioned She-Ra as a joke, and I jumped on it. Hell yeah, let's do it. I'll show you guys in a hot second. Funny thing is that because the idea and the concept came out pretty quickly, we don't know how to proceed. I don't know if I'm gonna draw. He inks, or if I'm gonna ink and he'll paint it eventually. Because I think he's an amazing digital painter. He's an amazing inker anyway. But we will cross that bridge when we get there. Eva says, do these get colored in? This probably will just get inked. But I might. I really didn't have any plan other than to draw it. That's as far as my coconut goes sometimes. I would love to ink it. That's something that I've been really trying to get better at. I'm always going back to inking, and because I skip it a lot. Lately I've been skipping it a lot because I'll go straight to painting. And I've been doing canvas and artboard. So I haven't inked anything really for several months now. The last thing I did took a couple of weeks, a couple of days to do, maybe a week to do. And I used a brush, so it took a long time. I'll show you. But before I do that, this is the original She-Ra that I did yesterday. And my wife appreciated the energy, but she wasn't too happy with the form. It is her childhood hero. So I decided to do that one then. Absolutely. MEP, absolutely. You talking about this one here? Absolutely. But yeah, this is the last thing I inked. Solely in brushes. No microns or anything. It was just one brush. Because I was trying to figure out textures. Oh, you don't have to You don't have to apologize for asking questions, Evie. That's what this is for. That's the whole point. We good. Plus, I would love to do a video on gouache. I don't do flowers, but I would love to do something because I think he was talking about a little bit about having some issues with blending. I'm no expert, but I think that on one of my previous paintings, I was able to break down how to color it, and I think it'll be awesome for you to try. But that'll be for another day. But yeah, we'll do that. Oh yeah, so I think the next thing I'm going to do is ink, because I'm all over the place, guys, so I apologize. I've been looking at this, and I've been looking at this. And a ton of Conan books. And I've been getting these specifically, these Marvel magazine specific versions of these Savage Sword of Conans, because they're all in black and white. And I've been trying to just absorb how they do ink and washes. And this is from the great Ernie Chan. There's some other ones from Alfredo Alcala. There's some from Neil Adams in here. The crusty bunkers and all of it. Look at that. That is cool. Anyway, that's what I've been trying to do. I've been doing a lot of this so that I can just... Some of these are better than others in terms of trying to figure it out. So that's what your boy be doing. So when I'm not live streaming, I'm looking at comics, mainly black and white comics, and trying to study some of the line work. Some of this stuff, no matter how many times I look at it, just looks foreign to me. Which is really a weird sensation to have, considering how long I've been drawing and trying. But I've always skipped inking a lot in my artwork. This channel really helped me get confident in some inking work. I have some videos about talking about fear of inking and using the brush. But a lot of it is done just kind of instinctually and just kind of like letting it go. But now I've been skipping it more lately because I've been enjoying the painting process. There was one point where I wanted to draw really good so I can ink really good so I can paint really good, and now I'm like, well, maybe if I just draw and paint. But I love inking. Like, come on, that almost looks like a black and white image, a really highly saturated or contrasted photograph. It isn't. Anyway, I gotta stop looking at the back of the books because that's where all the mastery stuff is, and I gotta stick to the front. But why I've been looking at Sensuous Frazetta, not for what you think Preeves. It's for his beautiful sequential artwork from the 1960s. And what's cool about this book is probably the closest thing I'll ever be able to afford of a Frazetta Master Artist Edition, or Artist Edition, yeah, that's what I meant. Because I rather look at the inks than the color. Like, it's beautiful work. It's so delicate in there. And I think they kind of enhanced some of these. I think it said so. They enhance some of this digitally. Sometimes, man, those multi-syllable words. Because they wanted us, the viewer, to appreciate some of the tones that Frazetta would put into his work, even though he knew that it was going to be mass-produced in black and white and none of that stuff was going to show. But he felt that the original art benefited from the extra tones that he would add that nobody would see in reproduction, because that's an artist for you. So there are some images in here for me to start getting ready, for me to do more practices, I think what I'm gonna do, and if you guys are down for it, it's just me swiping. It's just gonna be me swiping some of these. Tell me that wouldn't be a bomb ass Bruce Wayne up there. And Selena Kyle. Come on, man. But I think what I really want to do is just put some frames on a page and try to match, maybe not match his artwork. That'll never happen. But match his composition. And you'll find yourself, I think, because it might be the best way for me to learn. You find yourself doing wood textures, boat textures, water textures, sky textures, clouds if you need it, if it's in there. And a lot of these don't. There's a piece in here of a couple kissing. Ooh, that I want to do. That I want to swipe. One, because it looks like a Latina. Alright, then that look like she looks familiar. I think that's the actor that plays Flash Gordon, the original actor that played from the serials. Anyway, that's that. Those are my latest. That's my last inking. I wish I would have dated it. All it says is 2026. I know it's been months ago. Ooh. Let me check these chats real quick. Evie's gonna make some burgers, y'all. Anybody near Evie, we can get some burgers. She'll watch and listen. She has questions. She has the question. I love that. I have the questions because I am unfamiliar with this art type. I mean, no disrespect. I feel no disrespect. I'll try to answer as many questions as I can, honestly. And if I don't, I'll just lie and say whatever. And then artfully says, ha! I always try to catch Mellow either AM or PM. I usually stream twice a day. God willing, if I can, around 9, 10 a.m. my time, Eastern time, and then again around 3 or 4 in the afternoon. Today we're going to do one. I've already been here for 2 hours. So let's just keep going. I don't normally or at all do weekends. I don't stream on weekends. I usually go and support people's streams on weekends if I can. But that's it. Okay, on the other side, Colgate. That art has a little bit of anime influence and style for the card. The art has a little bit of anime influence and style. Oh, we're talking about He-Man from 2002. The wax color pencil also smears less, yes, and I can smear the heck out of this thing and use it like graphite. I've done it before. In fact, I did one recently where I use the blue pencil. I smeared the heck out of it. If I can remember. I think I painted it. Anyway, yeah, so I try not to discriminate. I'll use it like a pencil if I could. I'll break it down. If it don't work, then that's... If I'm going to try something to draw, I need it to work exactly the way I use something else. It needs to bend to my will. So I still use the same type of rubbing and sharp lines and erasing like I would a regular pencil. Duck Bacon, another artist, he's actually inking this one as well. I can't wait to see how that comes out. I got this Blade Spawn piece. So yeah, I try not to change. What I like about it. I lost my train of thought. Anyway, what does Monty say? Not too waxy for inking? Question mark. No, actually, it actually holds up to the ink pretty good. Also, I usually scan and print them out, but the stuff that I have inked over, not a problem. So, like, this is blue doi, the blue wax, and then I scanned it. I actually did this on Omer's Drawing with Friends months ago. No, I don't think so. We could definitely try it. I could definitely give it a shot. This is Bristol paper with this drawing scanned and printed on it. And then I went ahead and fixed it, gessoed it, and painted right on top of it. I was trying to see if I can do it. It takes a lot, but put that paper to work. This is that piece that Chuck Gibson inked. It looks so good. I got it framed. This is a copy of it. Hot dang. Thanks, Monty. Appreciate you. But yeah, we're gonna have to try. I'm gonna see. I don't know if me and Ginger are going to fully commit to this as our collaboration. Because I don't know really what we're going to do, what part. I might ink it and hand it to him so that he can do the digital paints, but we just haven't figured that out yet. So this will be a really good test to see how the inks hold up to it, but I don't think it'll be a problem. India ink is really good. And I think I can still go using my kneaded eraser and remove any of the loose, waxy nature of it. They look alike. I gotta look at it. I gotta look at a picture of the sword. Of his sword. Ah, so the only difference that Shira, she has a gem on her sword. Of course, she gotta have it bejeweled. MEP. Your name Mike? I don't want to keep calling you MEP. Let me know which one you was referring to. If you want to try to ink this one, then I'll make an effort to finish it tonight and scan it over. And if you follow me on Instagram, I could send it to you there through there. So let me know. I feel that's so weird looking. I feel like I'm missing something. That. But nope. Doesn't look right. It's on the outside, so it has to go higher. Use those rhythms, people. I'm always amazed of these technical artists that can do the 3D, all the 3D dimensional skeletal work of a piece in perspective and then plop it, and like the way they would do a like a wine bottle that's like perfectly, like I can't. There's something about it that's amazing. And then there's something about it that kind of like, I don't want to see the magic trick. You guys know what I'm talking about? Like I don't. It's too much for my mind to comprehend. I would love to learn it. Because I used to use it for, when I used to do a bit of 3D modeling. But then again, that does it for yourself. You're just doing kind of like a spline. Like if I was doing a 3D model of this, if depending on the software, like if I was using, you could use Lightwave or ZBrush or something like that. All you're doing is on the XYZ axis. I can't remember which one is which. You're just drawing the points. And then you're choosing the whole thing and duplicating 360 times, or as many times as you have, how many polygons you want. And then you have to do the inside of the concave nature of it, if you're going to do a liquid inside, or if you're going to... Anyway, I digress. Yeah, you got it, bro. Yeah, I'm pretty much done. I need to do her arm, her hand here, her fist. And then I'm going to draw her sword back here. So he says, no. Oh yeah, this one, the one I'm working on. I'm also trying to get a I'm also trying to get a handle on inking. My rendering style on my pencils are very all over the place, so I just wanted to see what I can do with more of a polished look. Yeah, of course, man. You better not mess it up. No, I'm just playing. No pressure, bro. No pressure. But it'd be cool. It'd be cool to see. Alright. We're almost done here anyway, I think. There's only so much you can do. I think the only thing I have to really, if I'm going to be sending this to you, I have to really define what is what. So I think because it's pretty much all set, I'm going to do her sword, draw her hand, and then I'm just going to darken up certain bits and pieces so it can be readable. Or I might go over it with a pencil. Whatever are you gonna ink it digitally, or are you gonna do it traditional? But yes, inking is one of those things. Some people just have it, but it just takes a lot more time. It's a little bit slower. You can't really do what I'm doing here, where all this noodling and going over and noodling and going over and erasing something that with inking you got to be a bit tighter. But once you get in that groove, it's super rewarding. Alright, there is a tangent right there. But that's alright. Gotta get more tools out. Traditional? Oh, that's dope. That's cool. Ooh. Yo, your boy's nasty with the circle. It's almost perfect. Almost. Traditional. Awesome. You gonna do brush or nib? My boy's like, I don't know, leave me alone. To wait. That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, I wanted to show, I think it was JOM. He wanted to, I was showing some of my brushes and some of my nibs here, and I haven't used them often. I have a practice sheet that I was messing with, but here are all my nibs. Omar's still around. You can always catch him. He'll be popping out the nibs every once in a while. Homeboy got a stick. He created his own nib. Like if that's not a little kid, like imagine, you know how we would grab a stick from the street and it'd be a wizard staff, it'd be a machine gun, whatever. Omer's like, nah, yo, I'm gonna make art supplies, and I think that's dope. These are all flat calligraphy nibs. Like I said, I saw Freddie Williams, I think that's his last name, I apologize if it isn't, use these to do hatch marks. Thought that was cool. So those are those there. Oh. And these are more of the writing. The ballpoints, the quills. Like this for ballpoint pen style inking. You gotta get some good paper too, smooth paper. If you're gonna use nibs, grab some Bristol. Smooth. If you can get some cheap or inexpensive version, if you have like a Hobby Lobby near you, see if you can get a small sketch pad, like a Bristol Smooth. I think this is vellum. No, this is smooth. Is that what I'm using? Yeah. This would it'll allow less scratchiness, and if the paper has too much tooth on it, it will, the nib will start scratching it off and it'll start clogging up. It will risk clogging up. Use a little bit of isopropyl alcohol to give a little looseness to the ink, and it helps dry a little bit easier. You could even use a little of Windex. I've seen the dude Steve Rude do that, and it helps flow through the nib. Yeah, you get some really bad it's kind of, it's not that it's gross, it just kind of sucks because it ruins your, I think this should be further out. I was using my nib pen for some of these. This is brush. That's my calligraphy flat nib, which didn't look very well. What is this? Brush. Brush, brush, brush. But later on, where the heck are you? Don't make a liar out of me. I think that's brush. Yeah, you can feel the scratchiness. This was the nibs. And I started to, you can even feel it. I started to chew through it. I'm like, oh, this paper sucks. It's inexpensive. It's Ollie's couple of pesos, but it was good for it. I got the wooden set of 10 nibs. I like Only 4. Bought some Pentel fountain pens for cheap just to play around with the ink. The fountain ones, they're really good to mess with. They're really good. I mean, it's disposable. It makes you like get rid of them when you don't need them anymore. Yeah, and I think some artists prefer to draw on vellum, the vellum flavor of Bristol, and then they'll print it onto the smooth if they're going to do traditional inking. But I think I've done it on both. I've done it on both, and I've drawn and painted on both. The thing I was trying to do was I wanted to find a style and a rhythm to my process that I can use on anything. Meaning if I wanted to paint, I didn't want to have to be like, oh, I could only paint my pieces on this, on canvas or on mixed media paper. I want to be able to be artistic and creative with anything and everything that I have, with no boundaries and nothing to hold me back. So that's why my process has been thus: draw it, spray it, gesso, and move on. And you can use that process there on every type of paper with varying results, but you can still use it on any type of paper. Because I've done it on inexpensive Ollie's paper. I've used it on watercolor of all grades. I've used it on mixed media. I've used it on Bristol. On both types, smooth and vellum. Now I've been just killing the art canvas boards, and I still use the same process: pencil, fix, gesso, acrylic wash, and then my gouache paints. These are some barbarians with their cumbersome swords. Evie, thank you so much for hanging out. I don't know if you heard earlier, I would like to do a video or a live where I talk about some blending or not so much blending with gouache, and maybe it'll help you on some of your gouache stuff. And I think it'll look beautiful on some of the flowers that you paint. But we'll see. But thank you for hanging out. I appreciate you. Have a fantastic weekend. Thanks for sharing those burgers with us. Dang. You gotta use everything today. I was inspired by Evie Eden. Guys, if you want to see an amazing artist, just blossoming before your eyes, check out Evie's page. She has all these amazing art supplies, and she is not afraid to use them, which is dope. Nope. I'll use this one then. What do you guys? You guys got any plans for the weekends though? The weekends? I'm gonna go see The Odyssey on Sunday. Should be fun. 3 hours. Get a little too quiet. You start hearing my nose whistles, and I'm trying to prevent that from happening. Couch potatoing, that's what's up. I've been meaning to do yard work, Monty, but it's been raining like crazy. I've been selfishly stuck in my little studio here. But I might just hang over the weekend and watch that movie and paint something. Paint one of those unfinished pieces. Or start a new one. Have you guys seen any of the Ghost in the Shell anime? I've only seen the first episode, and I'm just blown away by how vibrant and wild and fast it is. And I'm excited actually to keep watching it. I'm a huge fan of the original movie. I didn't realize how different it was from the manga. But either way, it was fun. I'm lucky, Monty. No HOA where I'm at, man. One of the things that we made sure when we moved down here was find spots without the HOA. Heck no, man. Heck no. This is good. If you remember that 95 movie, which was ahead of its time, this might be a bit jarring. It plays so much more like a regular not kitty, YA version of the movie. You guys can see that. Now that I know that MEP wants to ink this, I'm gonna stuff it with as much clean detail as humanly possible. Right? If you're gonna go with a smile. But trial by fire. Sorry, MEP. It has to be done. Alright, that's hair. You know what I wanted to do today? I wanted to try something kind of nuts. Again, I was doing the whole point of me drawing. Ooh, little Alex Garner smoothness. Hi. This whole thing came up because of the collab with me and Ginger Bear. With the second person that he mentioned, jokingly, I think, was Rainbow Bright. So then I was thinking of how can I draw Rainbow Bright? I don't remember much of how she looked. But then I remember she has a horse, and I was thinking that maybe I can draw her a horse like 88 from Brave Star and give Rainbow Bright an extreme makeover. I think that would be kind of cool for us to try to do. I wanted some more of these Friday Freeform Fridays. See if we can extreme something up. Seeing how we're all, I think, fans of the 90s version of the comics, of every comic book, that extreme era of books. You guys remember what Thor used to wear in the 90s? He had like suspenders on. Long hair and suspenders. Ooh, Rainbow Bright versus the Care Bears. Here we go. I don't know how to draw a bear. But it's gonna be a day to try. Yeah, see, but now you're thinking that'd be dope. They need to redo Gem and the Holograms where she's a spy. I rewatched, don't ask me why, Gem and the Holograms and realized that she's a terrible person. She's a terrible person, and the guy that's in love with her, he's a creeper. Because I think he's older than her in that cartoon. You guys, ladies, you guys might have to correct me. She leads him on like nobody's business. Gaslighting him. Which is probably why I was a fan of the Misfits. Misfits no matter what. I'm trying to make the lines make sense. That's the one thing about the blue pens that blue pencils that it feels like the lines come on dark. You can put them in there, and then they kind of like soften as you keep drawing because you keep rubbing the extra wax off or whatever it is. All right, that's hair. We're gonna extend her wings to here on both sides. I'm trying to keep it uniform, bud. All right, that way. Thanks, Monty. I was not expecting to go this hard on She-Ra, Princess of Power, but she deserves it, and I gotta make my wife happy. She the boss. Hair. Hair. She has a red cape. Nothing is uniform except a uniform. I hear you, Mep. I hear you, bro. Hair, cape. And then we'll have to figure out. No, we don't. Here we go. I may have to do some separate type of lines so that we can tell the difference here. Oh, I'll just let the inker identify those marks. Let me go back real quick. One of the only animes you'll watch these days is the original Ghost in the Shell. Yeah, dude, I got a few, like, go-tos that I'd love to go back and check out. That one is one of them. And a more recent one, if you haven't seen it, is, alright, this is Sword of the Stranger. Okay. Alright, where are we? Hair, bicep, arm, blade. Okay. I'm gonna embiggen this dude so he can make sense to you. Kind of like that, is it Ed? Ed McGuinness? Is that his name? He was doing the Red Hulk saga. He draws these really diesel thick character models and with very thick outlines. Move that. That's hair. I'm gonna make his other arm here. Even though we can't see it. We'll use our imaginations. You never heard of that one? Ooh. It's really good. Sword of the Stranger. It's pretty current. It kind of reminds me of Rurouni Kenshin, or yeah, Batusai the Manslayer. But I think you OG like me, so it's Ninja Scroll. I like Ninja Scroll. Don't like the SA scene early on there with the ninja. If you know, you know. Fist of the North Star is fantastic. So I'm going to assume you haven't seen any like slice of life animes. There's one I saw recently called oh dang nabbit. Not Blue Period, even though that's one of them. But that was a series. Anyway, there was one about, maybe it was Big Blue Planet? No. Anyway, can't remember the name of it. It was about this kid that wanted to be a jazz musician, a jazz superstar. It's actually really good. So it looks like they're rushing into battle. Is the battlefield lit up with explosions or things on fire? Or are they just posing at SDCC? Right? These are just cosplayers. Oh, buddy. I really didn't think that far. So, what is you gonna do? Death to the Horde! On this day, Skeletor and those who follow him will die. And that's her. That's one thing, MEP, that I've been thinking about. Like, if I've been wanting to try to paint somebody's artwork instead of like trying to catch something from a study or anything like that, which I'm still going to try to do, is how different things can be interpreted. Like, for instance, like you said, if I don't do any rendering, I leave you in a very bad position. Yeah, that's her voice. I leave you, the inker, in a very bad position, because then you're going to have to like, well, where the hell do I create the lighting? Do I do this? Do I do that? Where's it coming from? I hear you, man. But I was thinking about that when it came to inking someone's artwork or painting somebody's artwork. Let me just keep going here. What was really cool is that when I did the Green Lantern and Steel piece with Chuck, I just rendered it pretty plain. Not too much in terms of like atmosphere, except for Green Lantern. He has the ring, so he's kind of like in a green force bubble. And seeing what he was able to do with that, because he's an artist himself, was just so spot on. Because I was at one point worried, like, do I, like, who am I? Am I going to give him direction on what it's supposed to, what it is, what we doing? But no, man, that dude's a pro. Okay, we got that. I'm going to erase some of those lines. Good. Manja says, I have to work on my lighting, perspective, and expressions. Don't we all, but that's hair. Don't we all? Perspective is dope. Perspective in like when studying perspective, I even just a little bit of it. When I started messing around with 1 point perspectives and all those in my recent piece with Batman and Bane, did I show you guys that piece? I didn't finish it. I have to do some detail in the background of where they are. And I haven't done that. I got a little lazy on that. But just putting in the like a small half-ass perspective lines and beginning to put things in place, you go, hot dang, that's what we talking about. You can start seeing it come together. All right. Don't like that. That's a bit better. Yeah, man. Uh, you're right, man. And I just didn't know. I didn't know what to say. But again, he's such a professional. He nailed it. Nailed it. I need to be more consistent. What the hell? He mentioned a story. Yeah, I got all the tools. I got the French curves, the Francois curves, which I don't use. Where the artist said, do whatever. He did whatever as best he could, and then the artist threw him under the bus. Which is kind of like, what a butthole. I guess I gotta give him eyes, don't I? And you're right, dude. Pencilers and inkers gotta know it's a collaboration. More info, whether it's drawn or talked about, verbal is always needed. Which is hilarious because with me and Gingerbear, I sent him the piece and he goes, "That's great. So what am I doing?" And I'm like, "I don't know. what are we doing?" I'm not even mad at it. I thought it was hilarious. So I think it'll be a good way. I think he's both an amazing inker and amazing digital painter. So I almost want to ink it. Yeah, I almost want to ink it and have him paint it digital. So we'll see what happens. I'm in no rush. I know he's super busy and he's doing his own thing. I'm just grateful, honestly, that we can do something that's silly and cool at the same time. This is the let's see. Huh. I don't have it. I really do gotta do a better job of maintaining my artwork. Ah, here it is. So this is the piece I was using the really loose perspective grids. In fact, I used all 3 perspective grids to do this one. Let me see if I can shrink this so you guys can see it. Behind this one, so it won't be a distraction. Yeah, so I did this arm first, kind of like just messing around. And then I wanted Batman, and that's the second version of that Batman. But then I started trying to figure out where he would sit. I don't know if you guys can even see that. There's so much mess in here. But I used every one of these. Which is probably why some of this stuff looks wonky. I wanted him to be slanted. Then I came in here and did some of this up here. But I gotta finish it. I want to put like crazy detail on some of these rocks curving around behind him, almost like a sewer or like the cave, maybe a section of the cave where Batman just keeps getting pushed back into darkness. So it'd be really cool to use some shading to do that. Nah, I mean, this is another piece, guys. If it's up for grabs. If anybody wants to mess around, you let me know. Oh yeah, dude, those things are awesome. But I gotta finish it. I really want to push how far I can go with these pencils and maybe try to ink it. But one thing I just don't know how to do is how am I gonna render that meat? Ugh, isn't that great? So, same technique I did for He-Man's veins there, same thing. And then you just darkened around it, so that's what I'm gonna do here. So how do I do that for my inker? I can't. So Mep, you're gonna have to figure something out that works. Anyway. So when I did the Green Lantern in steel, I used blue pencil and then I used the eraser to help with tone. You can kind of see it already. Render it well done. Yeah. See how bright his hair is? I'm going to do the same with her. Do around his nose and give him form. That's the way I cheat for me to visually see, because I do not draw for the sake of the inker, unfortunately, because it's rare that anybody inks my stuff. So I need to kind of like change that. So that's Power Sword up there. His nose aglow. The lip. Because the more I paint, right? The more I paint, the more I see these in that type of form. It's like it removes the need to ink it, which is terrible. This one here. I like that. Render it well done. There was an artist I met at the IndieCon in Jacksonville a month ago. Man, she did this effect with ink wash for like a glow, for like a magic type of glow. And I think she was getting annoyed with me because I was like, tell me how you did that. And she didn't want to share. So, whatever. Yeah, dude, I love the smudging. The smudging does come in handy, especially for shots like this, where I can find form the way you would pencil. No more eraser guts on my floors, guys. There's always, yeah, yeah. And it's alright. It's alright. I ain't mad at her. But I think she was getting mad because I was kind of figuring it out. So the more I was asking, the more mums she would get on certain things, and I'm like, I think I got it. I think I got it. Thanks. The thing is this, right? You're obviously there. You won. You won. I'm here. I'm watching you do your thing. I'm admiring your work. You won. You got this. Unless I go nuts, the next couple years, I'm not going to be able to reach the same type of work and pedigree and portfolio that you have. So relax. You're like, yeesh, you're still good. You're still nailing it. Anyway, what can you do, right? Oh my lord. Monty, you nailed it. Whenever I'm watching Jim Lee draw, and he'll go and erase the whole page and just keep going, I literally will be trying to will my breath through the screen. Clean that, bro. But when you're a master like that, what are you gonna do? You and me, man. I'll be like, come on, Jimmy. Just one little. You got this. You could do it. I know you got it in you. I know you don't smoke. Maybe you don't smoke. Maybe you do cigars, but you got this. You can. A little bit. Nope. But alas, he does not. So, and I had a bad habit of just kind of like blowing it off onto the floor. And it just feels gross, and it looks gross, and it's like, have a little bit more respect for your place. No. Because he has no soul. Okay. That is harsh, but it makes sense. All right. See, this is the thing. If to render, her arm is this way. I'll just do this. I won't do too much super duper rendering on the. I just want enough so that it can be seen. And if you're going to be using nibs or whatever, microns, nibs, felts, this might help you out. He has no soul. I would love to meet him. Hey, Mr. Lee, is it because you have no soul that you can't, pencil shavings don't affect you? Can you imagine the amount of hours or the amount of pencil shavings that he has left behind? And there she is. The beautiful Broadway. First we take Eternia, then Smurf Village. I'm getting mushrooms growing in my backyard. We had cut down some trees recently, so I guess wherever the roots were are rotting, so the shrooms are growing out of there. And it looks like a Smurf village in my yard. It's cute. Just hope my dog doesn't like mushrooms. Send him one of those little vacuums. Yeah, right? He'll be like, what's this? What this? Do you think his artwork, his recent stuff, is worth what it used to be? Like his old X-Men stuff. Like his X-Men stuff sold for, what was it, almost a $250,000 in the auctions back in the 90s before they broke up with Marvel. Who knows? If I could get a fraction of that, a fraction. DW, yeah, I didn't realize it's three hours. We're going marathon Friday. What time is it? 3:00. It's one of those things. If I stop, it's really I can't do nothing. It's raining. I wanted to do some yard work. Said no one ever. Looks so good. Who are we talking about? Oh, we're talking about Jim Lee, who would benefit from my mini vacuum cleaner, because he does not wipe away the guts. His eraser guts. But we're also discovering. Oh, this thing. Oh, his artwork. Yeah, his artwork. Also, his artwork, if it's worth what his stuff from the 90s is. Have you seen the pricing for his commissions? Like, if he's like, I'm gonna be in Comic-Con, you want to do some commissions? They're like 2,000. It might be more. As I make stuff up. The Eraser Flex give him power? Yeah, man. They they destroy me mentally. Man, I'm talking about ruining. Ruining. Is that a word? I don't know if those lines add anything to it, but would you never pay that? Would never pay that, don't care who you are. For 2,000 for a commish? Yeah. That's throwaway money. That's, if you're even considering it, God bless you. Can I get some of that? Can I get some of that? Hey, I don't begrudge him for asking for it. I really don't. Because that's what we set the market. That's one of the things when hold on a second. Whatever they're worth, they can't afford it. Just set up the slip and slide on the yard and get to work on it. Yeah. Put the lawnmower on a string. I'll save that 2K invest in a Mark Silvestri piece. Yes, Silvestri's still good. And he gets better. Is that 2K for a 10 to 20 minute sketch? No, I don't know. I'm probably making stuff up. We need somebody to hate on, don't we? But I like you, Mep, I would rather a Silvestri. I still wouldn't pay that much, but Silvestri has been, he's just amazing anyway. So I would Google the actual prices because I've done it before. All right, where are we? That's hair. That isn't hair. 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 Veins, face, background. Should I give her some veins on the forearms too? That's her dress. Like I was thinking, I know I bring it up a lot, that portrait competition. The winner that gets chosen, and I bring this up because of the 2K for Jim Lee. They what they end up winning is a 10K, a commission for 10,000 pounds or whatever that is. Let's say it's 10,000 bucks. If that's your first official commission as the portrait painter of the year, there's no goober that's gonna say, can you do one for 5? No, son. that is the lowest that we're going on this conversation. But the thing is, he didn't get anything from that $250,000 or whatever it was from Sotheby's, or from when they sold his original artwork, when Marvel did, to ruin it for everyone. I don't think he did. Wow. Tell him, Broadway. It's too much, man. It's too much. You know, I spend maybe $100 bucks, 120, or whatever it is, on like an artist edition book, and it's like I feel guilty. Oh, if we could all be like Jim Lee. Erase their guts and crap all over the place. Holy. That's the in-between. DW says, apparently, Jim Lee charges from $1,000 to $3,500 for a hot dang. That's crazy. That's crazy. What a jump. We're over here like $20. $20 for a commission. When I was doing my covers, when I was painting and designing covers for that publishing company, they would treat me good with my pieces for those Enough to be happy about. Never enough to live comfortably, though. But I was okay. I thought it was going to be the beginning of an amazing relationship. Well, but the experience is priceless. Not 3,005. No, 35. Oh, is that what I said? My bad. $35,000. Damn. Yeah, even my cat's like, wow. Again, I don't begrudge him. Get it, bro. Get that bag. Thank you, DW. I appreciate you. I hope you have a fantastic weekend again. And I'll see you on Monday. I think it's time to do another piece of Ghost of Arlan. Maybe the titular ghost. Maybe I'll draw the pops. But either way, thank you for hanging out, man. I appreciate you. I've been running here for 3:20, so I think I might call it anyway, because then I'm going to be in here. We don't really stop, do we? Monty, I appreciate you. Have a fantastic weekend. Oh yeah, the celebs that you gotta pay for a photograph at arm's length. If I'm paying $8,000, we hugging. Sorry. Anyway, on that sad note, I'm going to let the music play me out for a bit while I keep fupping around and tightening some lines. I really appreciate you guys for hanging out with me today. It was a long one, so thank you so much. Have a fantastic weekend. You already know, my name is Mello. This is Arts of the Round Table. That's She-Ra, that's He-Man, the twins of Eternia. That's Broadway. God bless you. I love you. Mean it. Have a fantastic weekend, you guys. I'll see you guys all on Monday. But until next time, bye.